Hey everybody, welcome back to Trekyards. How you doing today? He is Commander Cockings.
He's Captain Foley.
And today we're here to talk about episode 2 of season 3 of Lord X, called The Least Dangerous Game.
It's a fair title. I will remember that one.
I'll start out by asking you, what did you think about this episode?
It was only okay.
It's exactly my sentiment. Very underwhelming, and not a lot really went on. Following last week's, it was just kind of and even last week didn't hit me with the grandioseness that I expected out of the gate. It was all right, but it was a fun, nice, relaxing story. Hopefully next week it picks back up again and gets something exciting. So, yeah.
I've been, we just watched these, but obviously at different time zones. So it's been in my brain a little bit longer than yours, having just watched it, and I've sort of summarized in my brain. This episode to me feels like it's two B plots without an A plot. And the B plots are, by definition, less engaging than the A plot. But without an A plot, you're left with, oh, they're ended, okay. Neither reach any kind of great quality, interest, diversity, or oomph. And I was waiting at least half of the episode for something significant to kind of take off, or expecting one of the two storylines to have a big gag at the end, and neither did. I mean, seeing the guy's going to say, "I'm not really hunting you; it's all for fun," is telegraphed from the first second, so that's not revealed in any way. I was waiting for an interesting double reveal where he was doing something, or he was actually, another alien race, or he metamorphosed, or something really interesting, but it was as telegraphed as possible. And Ransom showing up and going shirtless, again, isn't a very strong payoff to a joke. With, and the entire point of that sub-story was to keep Mariner bored, and also kept the audience bored. I mean, because that's what it's trying to do. There's nothing going on in that section on purpose, and just because you're cutting away to people on screen saying we're having fun, that isn't by itself fun. That's looking at fun. So both plots were fully at B plot, and there was nothing A to this. I was kind of surprised.
Yeah. The best part for me was the Martok game, which was a Ferengi black market game, by the way. But taking after the old VHS board game where you had Robert O'Reilly playing not Gowron, but another Klingon on the Enterprise D. I love how they mentioned the Gowron expansion pack in this one. So yeah, for me that was the best part of the episode. Those bits.
Man, that was all tertiary stuff, so it wasn't even the story.
And considering I just played D&D the night before when they first rolled the 18, I'm like, oh, that's good. That was kind of bookended the episode, and I was like, that's good.
Yeah, because we talked about this as a really exciting possibility that maybe they'll look at the game and visualize what they're playing, and that'll be it was as two-dimensional as the episode was in terms of that's all it was. I was kind of hoping that the setup was going to be, and the payoff was going to be that. I'm glad JG was in it enough. Good, there was more than a cameo. It was actually a performance. I was hoping that, because it kind of implied at the start that he was sort of interacting with them, and if it's this late in the timeline, you'd think, even though it's not literally, it's not playing video clips. It's a recreation of the character. I was kind of expecting that when Boimler finds the game in the middle with the alien, that he's going to be able to interact with Martok directly and go against Martok's programming, and then Martok will directly help him in the situation in some clever way, kind of like with Boimler and the plate with Tom Paris. Actually be then you get really cool weird lines of JG, don't do that, you stupid purple head freak, it's fun lines. And it was that to the absolute 5% degree, but I thought that was going to be the fun payoff, or even maybe Boimler could transfer Martok and that program into the holodeck, and Martok could then fight the creature at the end. And again, then Martok gets to have this, he's obviously being set up as a presence, and that would be kind of fun, but it's not literally Martok, it's a joke Martok, and therefore he gets to say stuff that isn't, it's a Ferengi Martok, so you get to have the silliness of, he's not saying the right lines, or he gets his house wrong. I'm Martok of House Mardok, and it's like, spelling, typo.
Yeah, that holodeck idea is fantastic. I didn't even think about that, but that would have been great. Lead him into the holodeck and have, or at least have Martok as a distraction, where he can do something
Because if he's a dungeon master and he's meant to be kind of taken through this journey, you can imagine that if they said, we've been playing with this Martok hologram for 10 hours, he knows us, he's worked with us, he's friends with us, quote unquote, and then he'd want to defend us in the holodeck, etc. You can have fun with that.
I mean, it did kind of push Boimler to become the hunter, but and I love how it's kind of said that it's kind of like the cliche where the hunted always becomes the hunter, and
it was all well handled. None of it was poorly done. It just didn't reach a momentum watching Boimler run through the same corridor for 2 minutes is dull. There should have been a sequence where he's on the outside the ship, or in the shuttle bay, or crawling through the warp coils, or something really engaging, because it was literally just him running through a corridor and an alien chasing him. That's it. There's no other dimensions to that. And then he just finds a rifle in his shop and then gets stabbed. It's unlike Lower Decks, where you tend to be able to, there's so much crammed in. Not a lot was crammed in. This was a very, very slow episode in terms of what was actually going on. Maybe it was Let's Take a Break episode after last week, which was quite go-getter. But to have a second episode be such a low-paced... It's like, this is not a rewatch episode. This is a one and done, apart from our second for the live. But, I've seen it all, Stuart. I've seen it all.
But Cranch was a pretty cool design. I did like that. I don't know how that would look in live action, but as an animated character, very cool.
He was okay.
Cromsopod is what his species was. But I kind of like that.
I liked it more. They hang out with Carol. That was a better reveal. She's saying it seriously. Yes, it's cool. The security. Oh, for that guy. Oh, he's great. Yeah, no, it's fine. Cancel. That I thought was one of the cleverest bits of the episode. Just the context shift of what Ensign doesn't know versus what a seasoned officer does.
Thanks for the mimosas. Going down to the planet, they had an evil volcano, a sentient
evil volcano. Yeah.
Yeah, and a psychic baby named Mendrek, and then a sentient computer 355, and it's overkill much. It's checks and balances. Kind of enjoyed that, but a little over the top. The whole belly button thing.
It's funny, but so on the rails. You could kind of guess where it's going, and it's like, okay, cool. Normally, Lower Decks kind of does those shifty things, and But I liked. It would maybe it should have had as I was waiting for this an addendum at the end where you now see that computer back in the Jeffrey Combs prison, and then now you see Jeffrey Combs is talking to him. Like, have that as a bonus cameo at the end. How does this computer deal with the other supercomputers? That could have been a follow-up joke at the end. Every season we find a new supercomputer.
The skydiving was cool, but the some of the same shots as in 2009 Star Trek, going down, which was cool, and her getting called out to that she was right and she had to climb all the way back up. Kind of love that. She just should have waited a few more minutes, but Ransom was kind of being a dick. So
no, I thought that was the skydiving bit was certainly the most creative bit, although still not overly exciting for some reason. Though I thought the joke aspect of reversing it was very clever. Not something I'd ever have guessed. But the fact that she's so committed to not letting down her chance of staying on the ship. Because in the olden days, season 1, she would have gone down, middle finger to Ransom back on the ship. But the fact that she put all the effort in to go back up and barely catch it and then, sleep on the way down was, clever, just not that exciting for some reason. I don't know why.
Comment down below, guys, what you thought about the episode, and do check out our live full breakdown later today, where we'll be looking at it scene by scene. There's some funny moments, but
there's throwaway visual gags all over the place, just not worth mentioning here.
Yeah, exactly. So comment down below what you thought about it, and join us for that. Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell icon. Do all the things. Super thanks would be awesome as well. But you can join us for those lives, so please do.
And more ship content coming from episode 1 right on the corner. So tune in for that, because that was jam-packed with tech, ships, and Trekyards goodness. So yeah, check them out. Just keep sharing, keep liking, keep enjoying. And if you want to support what we do here, because we do need it to keep going. The darker months, it's hard to put some effort in. So with all the support we can via Patreon or PayPal. Those are both the P's. Patreon is monthly, PayPal is singular at trekyards@hotmail.com, or Super Chat, 2 S's, sponsor. I guess you can sponsor us. That's cool. Email trekyards@hotmail.com, sponsor for something. But yeah, Super Chat, do the lives. That's amazing. Great way of direct support, direct communication, and we read them all. We are always doing that. That's a promise.
Sadly, yes. All right, guys. Till next time. He is Commander Cockings.
He's got a voting. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
everybody.